Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Thursday, the 11th of February's literacy lesson. Okay, right, first things first then, we are going to be writing a non-chronological report again today, finishing it off. The first thing that you need to do is to write the date and the learning objective in your literacy book, again from yesterday. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, right, so just to give us a very quick and brief introduction, we should still have this in our books. So yesterday we used a different, variety of adverb and conjunction openers as well, and extending sentences with conjunctions and explaining our facts, using technical vocabulary, and then of course the basics of questions, exclamations and full stops and subheadings to organise our work. Right, so we're going to finish our report today on our observation of a new species of animal. And the categories we're going to look at today are diet and hunting, I believe, and unique adaptations. So, our audience, just to remind you, is the world's scientific community. So, because we are writing for scientists, our language needs to be formal, clearly explained, and have a scientifically accurate description of vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to keep that one up. First thing you'll need to do, though, is go back to your notes from Tuesday. I'm going to go all the way back to my notes from Tuesday about the observations of diet and hunting and then of unique adaptations. Okay, so I'm just going to look at these two. And specifically, I'm going to combine these two notes together today. So pause the video while you read through your notes. Right, so let's get started then. I'm just going to put that back up there as well, just so we've got the reminder. So the subheading that I'd like you to write, please, is diet and hunting. And we're going to combine these two sections together. Okay, so we're going to start off by saying what it eats and what kind of animal it is, and then how it gets its food, all as one big section, just so it means we can link our facts a lot easier. Okay, so just to remind you about mine was omnivorous, but it mainly eats seaweed and sea kelp, but then occasionally eats crustaceans and fur seals. But its main source of food is kombu seaweed and golden algae, which grows around the island. Can last without food for up to 6 months, only if it has fed on meat beforehand though, and it doesn't appear to drink fresh water but filter seawater instead, mainly from feeding in the ocean. Now I'm going to tie this into a unique adaptation later on. I'll explain them. And then just it forages for golden algae and rock pools at low tide, and then kombu seaweed at high tide, strong claws to stop it from floating away, and needle-like teeth to scrape the algae off the rocks. It's got chromatophoric skin, so it can camouflage very easy, practically invisible in the sea, and then poison glands as well, so it just sinks to the bottom. So I'm going to start off with unusually, because lizards are usually one or the other. So unusually, the Leopitian sand chameleon, make sure that's all capital letters. And the reason I'm saying the full name of it here is because at the start of a new paragraph you need to always use the full name of something. Later on we can refer to it as the creature or the sand chameleon, or we can refer to it as a different name, but the first sentence always refer to it as its full name. So unusually, the Leopitian sand chameleon is omnivorous. Omnivorous, comma, meaning it eats plants, eats both plants and animals. Full stop. However, comma, its main source of food is kombu seaweed, and then we'll put brackets in, which grows in abundance. Actually, no, I'm not going to put brackets in. I'm going to make that an embedded clause with a comma, which grows in abundance around the island, and I'll close my comma after island there, and golden algae which can be commonly found on the island's rocks and in every rock pool. Full stop. So that's just me talking about its main source of food is the seaweed there. So now I'm going to carry on because I'm talking about it's on its herbivorous side. So now I'm going to say how it forages for the seaweed. So I'm just going to put when it is low tide, starting with that conjunction opener. When it is low tide, you wouldn't combine those as a conjunction, it's and is. You'd keep them separate because it's formal. When it is low tide, comma, the creature forages for golden algae on the rocky beaches, and in the many rock pools. When it is low tide, the creature forages for golden algae on the rocky beaches and in the many rock pools. Just have to add an ES on beaches there. Full stop. Now I'm going to explain about its teeth. It's razor sharp, comma, needle-like teeth are specialized for scraping this algae off the rocks. Okay, and then I'm going to start another sentence, but I'm going to start with at. At high tide, the sand chameleon forages for kombu seaweed around the island. Full stop. It uses its incredibly strong claws to grip rocks to stop it being pulled out to sea. By the tide. Now I've just realised I could probably change that there, so I'm just going to put a little star. So I'm going to put my little star there and just put as it feeds, comma, it uses its incredibly strong claws to grip rocks to stop it being pulled out to sea by the tide. Okay, right. So now that's me writing about its omnivorous side. Obviously, I've got its carnivorous side to write about as well. So let's go back and just remind myself about its carnivorous side. Oh, that was yesterday's work. There we go. Right, so it can last for up to 6 months without food, but as long as it eats meat, and then it hunts. When it hunts for food, it camouflages and then poisons the food discreetly. So that's what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to start with amazingly. Right, amazingly, getting the ly adverb in. Amazingly, actually, no, I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with unexpectedly. Unexpectedly. The Leopitian sand chameleon is an incredibly efficient and deadly predator. Full stop. Specialized poison sacs and its chromatophoric skin allow it to camouflage, so it is nearly invisible. It then sneaks up to much larger prey, such as fur seals, great white sharks, and I always list the three. What else can it eat? Fur seals, great white sharks, and let's make it a cannibal. Right, adding this up, and other Leopitian sand chameleons. And delivers this deadly poison with its needle-like teeth. And then I'm going to put undetected. Okay, so that just goes to show how deadly it is. Right, alright. So, what you will need to do today is write your section on diet and hunting. Obviously, I went to town there on that one, so you might write a little bit less than I've written. Just to remind you that you need to be getting all of these features in to make your writing as best as it can possibly be. Okay, and after you've written about diet and hunting, today you've got unique adaptations to write about as well. So all you would do underneath that is write a new subheading, unique adaptations, after you'd finished, and then underline it. Right, I am looking incredibly forward to reading these next week from your books. So good luck Year 6, and I will see you tomorrow.